Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Real Leel, and I am back again. Every day, there are news going on in the world of sports and pop culture, and I get my unique takes on them. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the latest updates on these hottest news and see the full episodes of my radio shows, The Real Leel Show, college and podcast version, In the Huddle, and What's Your Grind Like podcast. Daily updates, breaking news on my Instagram page, weekly blogs. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy the content. Ready to get this show on the road.
The catchphrase of all catchphrases.
Segment we have Qerim Abdul-Jabbar, who is putting his 4 title rings and other memorabilia up for auction. Hopefully he don't get busted like OJ for doing that. To a charity event. I mean, we literally traded the unicorn out for some picks, which is a gamble, which I think we, in time will tell if that will work out or not. It's basically like going to Vegas and gambling, and you know when you go to Vegas, it's either you coming home rich or you coming home with no clothes on, and that's what the Knicks is doing. They know they either coming back rich with KD and Kyrie through free agency 2019, or they're going to be the laughing stock of the league in sports history. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the American people, because I'm a native New Yorker. I am a native Brooklyn guy. Trevor Lawrence is a true freshman. All right, he's a true freshman, and I'm letting you know right now, he's the best quarterback prospect I have ever seen. And I'm not a prisoner of the moment type of dude, ladies and gentlemen. We live in this generation where, somebody get hot, and he's the best thing that was ever made.
The GOAT, the greatest of all time, the GOAT is Michael Jordan. He's the greatest that ever string up a pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? He got the championship 6 for 6. The scoring. I mean, everything. I mean, LeBron James is the best in this era. But if you pass gas in this era, it's a foul.
Bryce Harper and the Phillies are married, ladies and gentlemen. Love and marriage, love and marriage goes together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, my Central New York.
What is this American
You can't
Idol out
go
here?
over without the other.
He left because he said that the Spurs training staff misdiagnosed his injury, and that's why he was out so long, and that's why he missed the regular season. He said if the training staff would have got the diagnosis right, he could have got the surgery earlier or whatever he had to do, and he would have been back in there. So he felt some type of way, and he had some animosity towards that they, it's like you go into the doctor, you know what I'm saying, and the dude missed that you got cancer. Then you go to another doctor, and then he said, man, listen, you should have came a couple months ago because we could have did something. He said, but I went to this clown over here, this doctor. He told me I was good. So, that's how he feel. He feel that they didn't get it right, and it cost him a year. So he didn't want to play for them no more. Everybody has the right, to move on with their life and go somewhere else.
For another episode of the Real Leel Show, where I give my unique takes on the latest news going on in the world of sports. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things going on right now. I was asked if I wanted music to start off this show, but I said no, because I'm ready to go. We got a lot to discuss. I got a lot on my mind, but I have a special guest. My father is back in the building for this next latest edition of the Like Father, Like Son episode. How's it going?
Everything's good. Peace and blessings, everybody out there.
All right, y'all. So we had a draft last night. I want to get right into it, because if I didn't, I would have had the music. But I want to get right into it right now. The Knicks fans out here, all the sports fans. I'm gonna get to y'all in a minute, but I have something for my Knicks fans out there because it's been a minute. We all know about what we've been through for the last, I don't know how long now. It's been a long time. All right, and I'm not about to sing Rakim. But I'm going to start it off like this with my Real Leel blog that I have that's going to go up on the Real Fans Will Talk website within the next couple of days. And it's called Don't Rush the Process, Trust the Process. So I know everybody had their minds and New York this is for you, Knicks fans. I know everybody had their minds on free agency, especially Knicks fans like myself. Kevin Durant, who is the best player in the world, has been linked to the Knicks for a long time now, with a possible Kyrie Irving tandem. However, what y'all may have not noticed before last night was that there was a draft last night, and the Knicks had to take care of business then with the number 3 pick that they had through the lottery. The Knicks drafted R.J. Barrett, guard out of Duke, and this is what the Knicks needed to do last night. They did what they had to do, unlike in the past where we saw the Knicks do Knicks things. Always mess things up. They got it right last night. I'm already gearing myself up, for another heartbreak, because I do believe Kevin Durant won't be coming to New York as it stands right now. So I'm gearing myself up for another heartbreak. We probably going to strike out during free agency. However, we still got young quality players that we could build around. Barrett, Knox, Mitchell Robinson, who was one of the steals of the draft, who, if he can develop his body, can be the next Gotti. How about that? All right? So, I urge you Knicks fans, and I know it's hard to hear this from me, but it's true. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. And I know people I know you probably we've been waiting so long. I mean, what more process can we trust? How long can we wait? What are your thoughts on the Knicks drafting R.J. Barrett last night? I want to get your opinions on it.
It was a safe pick. It was a good pick. He has a chance, the potential to be good. He couldn't mess that up. I mean, it was given to him on a silver platter. All he had to do is pick him, But like I said, I like your point. Be patient. They got a lot of young players. Even if they strike out in free agency, I don't think Kevin Durant is coming. Kawhi's a Kev. I think Brooklyn Nets might get Kevin Durant if we don't stay in Golden State. Clippers is still a possibility, but only Durant, Kevin know what he's going to do. But as far as the Knicks, they got a nice young core. They finally got a management team that know what they're doing, and just trust the process, like you said. Go with the young players. Don't overpay nobody. Keep your salary cap in order. If Durant comes, cool. You got to wait on him in a year anyway. But I will go with the young guys. Let them play hard, and they finally getting it right. It was a good pick last night.
Exactly. We're gonna start the show off with our reactions to the NBA draft that took place last night. There was no surprise here who the first 3 picks was going to be. Zion at number 1 to the Pelicans. John Morant, number 2 to the Grizzlies. Number 3, R.J. Barrett to the Knicks. And as a Knicks fan, I want to start off with them. And with this player, R.J. Barrett. To me, he's a good player. He's a good two-way player who could play defensively and offensively. And I feel like he's going to have a very solid NBA career, speaking here. You saw him on Duke. He made a lot of plays. 22 points per game, 22.6 points per game. His three-point percentage is around 30%. Could work on it a little bit. But, in the NBA, as a three-point league, I really feel like he's going to have to get adjusted to it well. And it's going to force him to get adjusted very quickly. Because we all know how the game's changing in the NBA. He missed a couple wide-open threes during his time at Duke. But I believe he will work on it on the court. I like this player. I think the Knicks did a good job.
I mean, he's good. I mean, he got heart. I like him because he got heart. He's not scared of the moment. He's not scared to take the shot. He go to the hole. He go to the foul line. He got to work on his on his 3-point range. But I like him because he got a big heart. He knows the game, and he's going to take it to the ball hard. That's why I like him. He's going to, he's not scared of the lights. He wanted New York. This is where he wanted to be. He wanted New York. And I think he's going to be excellent. But I want to talk about King Zion, the Zion era. It just started in the NBA. I seen the Kobe era. I seen the Michael Jordan era. I seen the LeBron James era. I believe that Zion Williamson is the new era in NBA basketball.
Wow,
I would pay to go see him play. You know what I'm saying? I'll get my popcorn because I believe he's going to put on the show. He just, they don't come around, every 20, 30 years, it's his Zion time now. You know what I mean? And I believe, I can't wait till October for the NBA season start. And the New Orleans, this guy, Darryl Griffith, the GM, he hooks up, he did a lot of things in the draft.
Oh, yeah, he definitely
and
did.
New Orleans is on the come up. Like I said, everybody got a reprieve because Kevin Durant, we don't know what he's going to do, so it's wide open next year.
And I think R.J. Barrett, he has the personality to last in New York. He has a decent personality that can handle the media. He was even asked crazy questions. I saw the interview, the post-draft interview. I mean, they already brought it to him. He didn't even literally, get in the uniform or pack his stuff out at the house in New York yet. And they was asking him some crazy questions.
They was.
And people was like, that's New York for you. There you go.
Exactly.
Welcome to New York.
Exactly.
So he's going to have to deal with all that. But the point that you made about Zion, I haven't seen a college player like Zion. Another reason why that can be is because players like LeBron James and MJ, well, MJ did go to college, but LeBron James never went to college. But, I mean, Zion, to me, he's a likable guy, excellent personality. He's not that cocky. He wants to play the game. He shows that he wants to play the game. When he got injured at Duke, when his shoe came off, a lot of people was telling the brother, just set out, just go to the draft. But he wanted to play basketball.
He's a baller. He's a baller, and he's a beast. You know what I mean? And you're not going to get in the way of this dude coming 100 miles per hour downhill like a freight train. I mean, he's a beast. I know he's playing up against grown men and everything, but he's a man. So even though he's only 19, he's a man. And like I said, he has no fear.
He's a man.
He has no fear, and I can't wait for him to put on the show. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come right and fit right in. He's going to fit right in. And the second player I'm looking forward to seeing next year is the point guard. That's G-O-D, Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? He got crazy skills.
He call himself a point guard. That's what he calls himself.
He's unbelievable. Like I said, those are two plays out of everybody that got all the 60 players that got drafted yesterday in the first 2 rounds. The 2 people that I'm so anxious to see next year off the top is Zion and Ja Morant. Those are 2 players I'm looking forward to seeing, that I will pay to see.
Ja Morant is going to be one of them electric basketball players. I mean, his vision in the court is crazy. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him. But what I would say is, who I thought won the draft last night, I did think the Pelicans got a good offer, and I'm going to talk about them in a few minutes. But I like the Hawks. I like what the Hawks did last night. And this could be a very fun team to watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this draft and you know who they got. DeAndre Hunter out of UVA, University of Virginia, a guy that played in that national championship, who has that, obviously college and pros is different, but he has that experience, playing under the big lights. Cam Reddish, shooting forward out of Duke to play alongside Trae Young. Absolutely. I mean, you talk about a future Splash Brothers right there. Cam Reddish could shoot. He can shoot the long ball. Mm-hmm. So you have Trae Young that obviously be shooting from Steph Curry range. You play them up together. Oh, my gosh.
They got a nice young team. Atlanta did good in the draft. The Pelicans did good in the draft. I like their picks.
And one thing is to bring up, Cam is also a lockdown defender at that as well.
Yeah.
So for a team in Atlanta who struggled mightily with defense, the fourth worst defense, the fourth worst defense in the league last year in point differential. That's a good pick to help their defense out.
Absolutely.
And bring that extra scoring that they need. So I thought, my personal opinion, the Hawks won the draft. Who you thought won the draft?
I thought the Hawks won the draft, but I like New Orleans. I like New Orleans Pelicans, what they did. It was a lot of interesting picks. Everybody helped themselves. Like I said, the NBA is going to be off the hook.
Yes, it is.
Because you got a lot of young teams, and everybody got a 1-year reprieve now because KD is going to be out next year. So this is their chance to try to steal a chip, because once he come back, not next year, but the year after,
it's still going to be KD's show. You know, so everybody got a chance, you know, to get a chip. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you know, they got to fill out the roster. They're going to be up there, but you got to hold. It's wide open. Wild, Wild West. I mean, it's wide open. But if Kawhi Leonard, you know, depends on what he does. If he go to Toronto, stay with Toronto, or he goes to the Clippers, wherever Kawhi Leonard goes, is going to be the balance of power. So we got to wait to, you know, July 1st to see what his decision is. But as far as the new blood in the NBA, we got a lot of players that just got drafted yesterday. That's going to keep the NBA going for a long time. I like it.
And what you thought about Boy falling all the way to where he fell? A lot of guys thought he should have been drafted earlier than where he was, and the Nuggets once again showing that they're willing to take a guy that has, you know, an injury and work with him. You saw Michael Porter Jr. last year.
Yeah.
So the Nuggets another good player. I mean, the Nuggets is another team to watch out for. I like the pick. That's a young team with a lot of parts that they can build in a wide open Western Conference this upcoming season without a KD and a Klay Thompson. So I like that pick. What you thought about him falling that far?
Well, you felt because, you know, like I said, they got scared off from the injuries, you know, and whatnot. But I thought he would be taken earlier than he did. But, you know, he got drafted, so he's going to have a chip on his shoulders. And, you know, he's a good defensive player. He can shoot a little bit. You know, as long as he stay healthy, he's going to be solid. You know, that was you know, I thought he should have been drafted earlier. But, you know, that's sometimes how, you know, that's how it falls.
That's how it falls in most drafts, whether it be NFL or NBA. A lot of guys, when they have an injury, they always, most times than not, seem to fall during the draft.
Just like the kid from North Carolina, Little, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought that he should have been a lottery pick. You know what I mean? And he went all the way number 25, I think, to Portland, I believe. You know what I mean? So that was a steal. That was a steal for Portland, because this dude is nice. You know what I mean? That played in North Carolina last year, Little, you know. But he fell to 25. So, like I said, these dudes got to prove it now. You know what I mean? I mean, what we could do is project and hope, you know, hope these guys will come out and you know, some guys that you think would be stars in the NBA, they might fold. You know, scared like a dice game. You know, shake it like a dice game. You know what I mean? So some guys that we think that there's no way they can make it in the NBA, they're gonna be stars. So it's luck of a draw, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a luck of a draw. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, a lot of teams help themselves, and like I said, this is the first time in memory that I want to go into a season and say, like,
not knowing who's going to win the finals.
Exactly. I mean, it's wide open.
It was always Golden State. The question was who was going to face them.
Exactly.
And that was it.
Now, been like that for the last 5 years.
Exactly. And now it's wide open from east to west.
You know,
anybody, you know, a lot of teams from the east can win it all. Yeah, a lot of people saying the Wild Wild West, but you got the east side. You can't forget about them.
You know,
Toronto, the defending champs. They're gonna be in play.
Especially
Milwaukee,
especially if Kawhi
Leonard Kawhi definitely
stay with Toronto. They're definitely gonna, you know, they might repeat. Then you got Milwaukee, got a taste. You know what I mean?
76ers. See what they do with Jimmy Butler.
Exactly.
Bring him back.
And don't forget the Brooklyn Nets now. You know what I mean? You know, they got a little taste in the playoffs. You know what I mean? If Kyrie go, you know, and Kevin Durant, you know, they'll wait on him, you know.
Trying that tunnel, yeah. Trying to calm down, got to know. I just can't sometimes. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like a Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart. Feel like I'm Pablo, feel like Escobar. Feel like a Chapo, this day went too far. Feel like I'm Tony, my friends let me scar. Let me win no heart, let me win no heart. Let me win no heart, I just played my part. Told me not to come to your dog at the bar. Lose situation in the pool with sharks. I'm plugged in, I can turn my pain into art. Young static shot, I give you bitches spark. Put that bag over your face, now you're in the dark. Renovate the hotel in the pen now. I want the ransom, you come late, we chopping skin off. Don't pull up to the
switching gears here, now that you brought up Kyrie and Brooklyn Nets, I was going to touch on this a little later, but you brought it up, so we might as well talk about it right now. All right, there's a lot of people that's two-sided. You got the Brooklyn Nets, who overseeded expectations last year. We didn't expect them to get to the playoffs, but they did. And, you know, for the most part, they had opportunities to extend that series longer than what it was against the Philadelphia 76ers, right? So now you have people saying this is a young core, and what they gonna do from here is get better. They're gonna get older, more experience. They're gonna get better. D'Angelo Russell, one of the most improved players in the NBA, probably gonna be runner up to Siakam.
Right.
So now, with that being said, Kyrie Irving comes into the picture. He's a free agent, and the Nets are, you know, looking at Kyrie. There's reports now that saying they are skeptical of bringing Kyrie in without KD. My thoughts to you is, what you think about that? Should the Nets bring Kyrie alone, or should they see what Russell has for the next couple of years and develop Russell more and see, because he's an all-star. Russell's an all-star. I really feel like if Kyrie Irving goes there by himself, that will not make that Nets team any better than they were the previous year.
It'll make them better. You know,
I don't think so.
Kyrie is, you know, is the truth. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know what happened in Boston. You know, the guys, you know, it didn't.
He wasn't working with the young guys over there.
It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? You know, jealousy. I don't know what it was. He just was a bad look. You know what I mean? But he want to play for Brooklyn. I think it's a done deal, and they want Kevin Durant to come with him. Even if Kevin Durant don't come with him, I think the Nets will take Kyrie and re-sign Russell. That'll be a hell of a backcourt. Kyrie and Russell as a shooting guard. That would be perfect.
At first, I would have liked to see that, a Russell and Kyrie Irving tandem. But now I'm looking at it and knowing how the type of point guard that Kyrie Irving is, ISO point guard. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like for a guy in Russell who wants to develop even more, having that extra point guard right there who's going to be having the ball in his hands a lot can diminish what he could do. That's what I think.
Listen,
I think that could stop his growth.
Nah.
Bringing in a guy like Kyrie,
Nah.
a guy that's an ISO player, that's going to have the ball in his hands.
Well, Russell will be on the wing. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a good three-point shooter. You know what I mean? They could switch. They could complement each other. Look at Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. You got backcourts. Look at John Wall and Barry Bill. They work it out. Sometimes I handle the ball. You know what I mean? I do my thing, and then I pass you the ball. So they could feed off each other. You know what I mean? I wouldn't listen. Now it's a hell of a backcourt right there. You know.
So thinking that, all right, let's look at it like this. D'Angelo also got a lot of suitors right now. He got teams they can go to. The Pacers is in the talks. The Mavericks is in the talks. Boston is a legitimate option right there.
It's gonna be
he got a lot of suitors.
Yes,
so
he does.
you know, why would he stay to, you know, play 1A 1B with Kyrie Irving and go somewhere else where he can be the star? He can contribute to a team like the Pacers in the East.
Yeah, but you got the kid that's coming back from injury, or the Lubipo in Indiana, so it's his team. So
well, he could contribute, you know, to that. I think that would be a good tandem.
You know,
it would be Oladipo team, but he could, you know, he'll be running the
like
point
I said,
guard.
he got Russell has to go to a team that's the right fit. He flourished in Brooklyn, being the man, like you said.
Yeah.
That's why he became an all-star. You know what I'm saying? So he got to pick a team that's comfortable for him.
And what you think that team is?
I don't know. You know what I mean? I think it's Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I really think he should stay in Brooklyn, even with Kyrie or without Kyrie. I think he should stay in Brooklyn. But if you want to venture out, you know what you got in Brooklyn. If you go to Boston, you're going to have to deal with those dudes, and you might not be able to flourish like you did in Brooklyn. Indiana, you got Oladipo coming back. You know what I mean?
I'm a Nets fan as well, and I'm a Kyrie fan as well. As far as his play, I believe Kyrie Irving got the best handles in the league, and he's a fun player to watch.
Right.
Watch him, especially in the fourth quarter. You know, his assassin mentality that he have, to one of the most clutchest players in the league. You know, he did it in the finals. He did it on the big stage.
Yeah, no question.
But what makes me skeptical with bringing him in is his personality.
I think
it's bad because even he was in a good situation in Cleveland. He wanted to leave. I respected his decision because he didn't want to play second fiddle to LeBron James.
Exactly.
But the brother got put in an excellent franchise with an excellent market, an excellent front office, an excellent coach, you know, and it didn't work over there.
It didn't work over there because the coach, you know, I don't know what happened. Like I said, those guys went to the Eastern Conference without him. You know, he came back. They should have did further with it. But there's a lot of bickering back and forth, and then he got frustrated. But my thing is this: if he go back to Brooklyn, he's going to learn from what happened in Boston, and he's going to do well. He's going to make the effort to be a better teammate, a better leader, because he just left Boston. He saw how that went. He's not going to do the same thing in Brooklyn.
I would hope not. I mean, I just saw a video today my friend sent me of actual Kyrie calling a unknown radio station. It's not one of your ESPN first takes. It's a very unknown radio station, but they have a little following. He called them up as a fan, pretending to be a fan, speaking on the behalf of Kyrie Irving. Well, you know, I think Boston didn't know what they had when they had Kyrie. That was actually Kyrie talking. Wow. He pretended to be another person.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. You know, a guy like that, you know, that's why I'm like, how would he make it in New York? I mean, Brooklyn is a little different. Yeah. You talk about the Knicks, he definitely can't survive with the Knicks.
He grew up a Net fan. Yesterday, he's from Jersey. He grew up a Net fan, Jason Kidd fan, and all that. He wanted to play from Brooklyn. He wanted to play for New York. He's coming home. You know what I'm saying? That has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Plus, it could be his team. You know what I'm saying? I'll take Kyrie any day because he's the truth. You know what I'm saying? But Boston, I wouldn't pay that no mind about what happened in Boston. You know, it wasn't only his fault. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes were jealous of him. You know what I'm saying? Rozier and Brown, you understand what I'm saying? You know, he was ball dominant. But listen, I'm taking Kyrie. If I can't get Steph Curry, I'm taking Kyrie.
If I could get KD to come with him, I'll definitely make that move in a heartbeat. So we'll have yet to see what transpires, but I do believe Kyrie Irving to the Nets is a done deal.
Well, I believe so too. And like I said, with KD, we'll know in 2 weeks what he's going to do. I think he's going to stay with Golden State, and if he do leave, I think that he's going to go to Brooklyn. I don't think he's going to go to the Clippers. I think Leonard might go to the Clippers if he don't stay with Toronto. You know what I mean? I don't think both of them are going to end up in the same spot. You know, KD and Leonard. So we'll know in a couple of weeks, you know, and then you can tell what's going to be what.
See, KD is a guy that I know can go somewhere and be that number one option off the rip. Hell, he's the best player in the NBA in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But can Kyrie be the number one option and lead a team to a championship? I don't think so. I think he's a Robin. He's a little bit better than a Robin, but he's under a number one. He's in that range. He's in that middle. I don't believe that he can lead a team by himself to a championship.
He needs help. You know what I'm saying? I tend to agree with you. You know what I mean? It depends on what team. You know, if him and KD get together, it'll be over. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely going to do something. But it depends on the team that he goes to. And Brooklyn, he'll make them much better, you know. And all you got to do is get in the playoffs, and then it'll be dangerous. You know, they definitely. I mean, they got to the playoffs without him. They definitely gonna go 1 or 2 more rounds with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's that type of player. You know, well, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot to think about, but they're making moves. Brooklyn made all these moves with the salary cap. They could get 2 max players.
They probably know something that we don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I know it's a done deal, you know, with Kyrie, but I don't know who else is coming. You know, that's the only thing. You know,
and that was pretty much confirmed today with that interview, because in a part of the interview when he faked to be somebody else as a fan calling up, he said that's why he's leaving. So basically, what we all got the confirmation today that he's out of Boston.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we pretty much knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely out of Boston.
He was in non-contact with the organization. Pretty much went ghost after the season was over. Yeah. So we'll see.
You know, he needs a change of venue for sure.
You know, he went ghost and he got the power. For those of y'all Power fans, if y'all get the joke, he went ghost and got the power. But anyway, moving on. I want to get your reactions to the Anthony Davis trade to the Lakers. My personal opinion, when I look at it from a bigger, larger scale, I think the Pelicans won this trade. I think they was able to flex losing a big commodity in AD and turn it into some assets, some things that we can work with.
Yeah, both of them won. you know, sometimes you get trades where both teams came off. You know, and this is one of them where it helped LA and it definitely helped New Orleans to build a roster and, you know, for the next coming years. You know, I mean, they got a lot of young players, but AD is one of the top 5 players in the NBA today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give the order, but he's in the top 5 the NBA players today. So when you get LeBron James, who also is in the top 5, you got 2 top 5 players in the NBA today on the same team. They're gonna make some noise. You know what I mean? You know, if I play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, we might win a chip. All I gotta do is bring the ball up. You understand what I'm saying? And hook them up. You know, I mean, they got the 2 best players in the world on one team. You know, just get a cat to rebound. I'll play some D, pass the ball, and we'll win a chip. You know what I mean? But seriously, you know, they got a good start, you know. And like I said, depending on what else they do, you know what I'm saying, it's wide open. But like I said, they better do it this year before, depending on where KD go. Because if KD goes back to Golden State, they got a year window to win the chip. I don't care what Davis or LeBron James, when KD come back, it's going to be Golden State again.
And plus, we need to see what the Lakers is going to do with the rest of that team. I mean, right now, you only got AD and LeBron James there, and that's a centerpiece, right? And Kuzma as well. Kuzma can ball. He can get his buckets. You know, he can do a little bit more consistency, but he can do it, and he has time to improve. So, what else do the Lakers need? They need a lot. They need a bench to me. They need to get some shooters. I believe J.J. Redick should be a guy that they need to hit up, and maybe a Patrick Beverly at the point guard position, a guy that, you know, don't need to get his shot going to be an effective guy on the court. We already know his defensive tenacity that he brings to the table. And, you know, he don't have to be that guy. He don't have to be the Hollywood star in L.A.
They definitely need shooters because, like I said, you got KD, you know, he's going to get double, and they need some shooters to when they kick the ball out. So J.J. Redick would be a good look. And you only could command $10 million or whatever, $9 million, you can get him. You know what I mean? But there's a couple of players out there.
Danny
Green.
Another guy.
You know what I mean? Steph Curry's brother is available.
Seth Curry.
You know, another shooter. You know, they definitely need shooters.
So,
you know?
Do you think that they should, you know, chase this? You know, I don't know if it's financially possible. I'm hearing that it's not financially possible because they have to get this done by a certain date. But instead of trying to get that third max player,
they can't afford it. They can't
should
afford
they
it.
just build a team? You know, instead of trying to get a Russell.
They don't have the cap space because I think they got $23 million. They can't get a max player with that. All they could do is get the little pieces, like you said. Take $10 million to get Redick. Take another $8 million and get a Steph Curry or a little, you know, they're going to do a little $2-3 million moves like that to fill the team out. You know, they can't get a max player like Kawhi. You know what I mean? He's not taking a discount. KD is not coming there. You know what I mean? You know, they might could get a Brook Lopez. You know what I mean?
That's another guy I heard too.
You know, for you know, a big man. You know, they got to make little moves. You know what I'm saying? With that little $23 million, they're going to break that up to get about 3-4 players.
And Brook Lopez is another guy who improved his three-point shooting tremendously on the Bucks. He's the guy who was looking like a splash brother.
And they were saying that, you know, they might could sign Russell. You know, Russell might come back to LA. You know what I'm saying? He matured. You know what I mean? He don't have no beef no more with management and with Swaggy P or whatever his name was. You know, they had that beef. You know, Russell might could come back in LA.
Magic Johnson is gone, the new faces. The only thing I would say about that is, and why I wouldn't advise Russell to go there, is because when you got a ball dominant at times, even though he proves that he can set up other guys, LeBron James be playing the point guard position as well.
That's true.
I wouldn't want him messing with Russell's progress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron James is a guy that, you know, if you want to ship, he's the captain. Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's LeBron James. He's the captain.
Right.
He drives the ship. So I wouldn't want that for Russell, you know, progress. I would want Russell to go to a nice young team that can compete, like the Pacers, or even a backcourt with him and Denver Booker on the Suns. That'd be good. The Mavericks, Luka Doncic and Porzingis, that could be a good, you know, fit over there. So
like I said,
Boston, you know, I wouldn't want him to go to the Lakers, in my opinion.
Listen, it's July 1st going to be off the hook. You know, July 1st going to be off the hook. We're going to know where all these dudes are playing. Actually, June 30th at 6 o'clock, free agency start. June 30th at 6 o'clock, it's gonna be it's gonna be on and popping.
So when you look at the Pelicans roster right now, of how it could look like and the pieces that they added, you have Lonzo, you have Ingram, you have Hart, you have Zion, obviously from the draft, and you have Drew Holiday and Jackson Hayes. To me, this is a legitimate team right here.
Yeah.
You know,
They can make the playoffs.
They could, yeah, exactly. They could make the playoffs with this team.
Imagine Zion getting no laws from Alonzo, on the break. It's gonna be fun.
And you know that's what Lonzo excels in.
You know?
He's not the offensive juggernaut that will, be like, knock all the shots down, but he can set guys up and he plays defense as well.
Exactly.
So getting them lobs to Ball, and then you have Ingram, who is a talented cat. Obviously, he has ways to improve, but he's still there. The talent is there, and we know the talent is there. He just got to elevate to that next level. And obviously, he didn't work well with LeBron James. They were kind of two of the same players.
Exactly.
So that's why another reason why we probably didn't see that full potential for this guy Ingram, and he could show it.
If he's over his illness, and everything is good with that, Ingram gonna bust out next year because he got the talent, and he's free of LeBron James. Alonzo's free of LeBron James, and you're gonna see these guys flourish. You know what I mean? They're gonna be running and gunning. I predict that the Pelicans gonna make the playoffs next year.
I can see
they're
that.
gonna be 1 and 8. I mean, they're gonna be one of the 8.
I can see that. And this is a nice young team that the Pelicans got. And for losing a guy on that magnitude of an AD, as we both said, top 5 player in the league, to get in return what you got, I think that it was a massive, mocking. My claps go to the general manager.
Yeah, he pulled a rabbit out of. He did good. He did good.
He pulled a rabbit out of a hat.
He
like
did.
Houdini.
Yes, he did.
But moving on here to the next sports topic, a lot of news going on around this organization known as the Rockets. There's a lot of turmoil going on right now in that franchise, as it was reported earlier this week that Cp3 and James Harden relationship has appeared unsalvable.
I believe that.
To me, I think it's the egos, man. There's two guys with big egos on the same team that want to be the guy.
Right.
When all actuality is, we all know CP3 is a facilitator, but James Harden to me is, well, not only to me, he's the MVP. You know what I'm saying? He's the MVP of the league. Might not be this year because Giannis might get that, but he's the MVP as well.
But the problem is, with Houston is that James Harden is who he is. He's ball dominant, and Chris Paul, like you said, is a facilitator, and all his beef was that he think that the ball should be moving more, not one guy dribbling 20 seconds of the shot clock and then, putting up threes or do what he do. He thinks that the ball should be moving. That was his only beef, and he's right. You can't do that. You can't do with that in the playoffs. You can't get away with that. That's why they haven't won no chip, because you can't have one guy dominating the ball. Everybody standing in the corner. I'm going to dribble 24 down to 8 seconds, and then I'm going to shoot, or I'm going to pass you the ball with 3 seconds left. It doesn't work in the playoffs. So that's what their beef is. But the coach, instead of him telling Harden, said, listen, we're going to play a different way. He let Harden do what he do.
Yeah, exactly.
And the last couple of years, he's fantastic in the regular season. He won the MVP. He might have won another one, but Westbrook got that one. Then he won it. And then this year he's in the running again. But how far you got in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So Chris Paul, he wants out. You know what I'm saying?
I tend to side with CP3 like you do. Even though I know what CP3's history with teammates looked like when he was on the Clippers, against other players in the league. But, sometimes in school, the bad kid at one instant is the good kid.
But they're not going to listen.
And that's what I see CP3 as.
They're not going to trade James Harden.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
They're going to, if the relationship is unfixable, they're going to try, to move Chris Paul. They're going to try to move Chris Paul because they're not trading the MVP, Harden. They're going to die. They're going to ride or die with him, even though he's not going to win playing that type of ball. But the coach is stubborn. That's his style. He got somebody that fits his bill. That's the way he coach. He got somebody that can get his shot. Could shoot threes. That's what he want. and play matador defense.
I was on the Will Fans Will Talk show last night, and I had this debate with the two co-hosts on the show. Definitely when that video dropped, check that out. And I'm saying to them, could this team run it back in a wide open Western Conference without the services of KD and Clay on the Warriors? And yes, the Lakers got AD and LeBron, but they don't have no bench right now. Those are only two players right now. You have the Jazz, who's improving, but they still haven't got to that level yet. The Nuggets, they have a lot of talent, but they still inexperienced. Yes, they had a good taste of the playoffs last year, but they still inexperienced in a way. So with a lot of the good teams in the West having asterisks around their name, whether it be because of youth, inexperience, or whatever, but the talent is there, the Rockets have that experience. They went up against the Warriors 2 years in a row. They should have won the year before if Cp3 then went down. Last year, they had no excuses not to win that series when KD was out. Do you think that they could somehow, if Cp3 and James Harden could get their differences together,
They'll be a tough
can they get to the finals next year? Can they be one of those teams?
Yeah. If they work their differences out, and then I heard they talking about Jimmy Butler, talking about he want to come to Houston because he's from Houston. He's a free agent, and he talking about, he might sign, his rumor has it he might sign with Houston. He like Houston. If they could get Jimmy Butler, and if they don't get Jimmy Butler, if they resolve their differences, the only team that always beat them was Golden State. You know what I mean? So
exactly. The last 2 years.
Last 2 years, and then have no KD and no Thompson for the majority of the year. Houston could definitely win the West.
And that's what I was saying, because I had that debate last night. Will Fans were talking. I was definitely saying what you were saying, that the only team they lost to 2 years in a row was the Warriors, a team that went to the 5 straight finals.
But last 3 or 4 years, what we've been talking about the finals being Houston and Golden State. You know what I mean? That was, Western Final, whatever. Everybody was saying that was the finals. You know what I'm saying? Because how close they was, and how tough the games was. You know what I mean? So I can see that if they resolve their difference, they could be a threat in the West.
Can you see Jimmy Butler fitting in that offense the way how James Harden dominates the ball and dominates the shot clock? Can you see Jimmy Butler fitting on that team?
I can't see it because I know Jimmy Butler, and he ain't gonna have a dude standing around dribbling the ball for 20 seconds and ain't getting and you just shooting there all the time. Jimmy gonna say something. So I can't see that. If Harden changes his game, so you know what, I'm gonna give up the ball some more. I'm gonna, give up the rock. Then I can see it working. But if Harden remains, that I'm the man and I'm gonna hold the ball, I'm gonna be dominant, I'm gonna dribble through my legs and all that, it ain't gonna work because I know Jimmy.
And you just brought up an excellent point that I want to bring up, and it's going to add to why I think Jimmy Butler to the Rockets can be a disaster waiting to happen, because Jimmy Butler is a guy that's going to say something.
Absolutely.
What we saw in his previous organizations, him saying something. We saw the clashes with the coaches, with the Timberwolves and stuff like that. Going into the Rockets with a team like that, with heavy criticized D'Antoni's system, with James Harden dominating the shot clock, with CP3 over there having issues with the team, and Eric Gordon not liking the way how the offensive one. Could you imagine Jimmy Butler on that team, a guy that is known to stand out and be upfront and complain when he needs to, or about little stuff? Can you see that actually working? I can't
see it. Like I said, James Harden went to change his game, a little bit to accommodate Jimmy Butler, if he come to that team. If he stand fast, well, I'm going to still do me, it's going to be a disaster. If he changes his game, say, listen, I welcome you with open arms, we're going to, I'm going to pass the ball to you and you're going to make it work. But it got to come from James Harden. And it got to come from the coach. You know what I mean? But it'll be a disaster because Jimmy Butler ain't going to have it. He ain't going to have you, I'm watching you and I'm playing defense and I'm rebounding and I ain't going to get no shine. Nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work with Jimmy.
And I totally agree with that. What are your reactions to Mike Conley being traded to the Jazz for Crowder, Kyle Korver, Grayson Allen, a number 23 pick, and a protected first-round pick? Obviously, the draft was yesterday.
Utah going to be a problem because you got a bona fide point guard, You know what I mean? This guy's an all-star. I mean, this guy is one of the best point guards in the NBA.
And still in his prime.
You know, still in his prime. I mean, he's on the backside of his prime, but he's with a better team. You know what I'm saying? You know, and my man Mitchell, oh my God, Utah definitely gonna be making some noise. I ain't gonna say they're gonna win it, or you know, they definitely gonna be in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Some teams are gonna be out. You know what I mean? It's only 8 spots, and the West is loaded. Sacramento, Dallas, you know what I mean? Portland, you know what I mean? Denver, like you said, you know what I mean? The Lakers, the Clippers, if they get Kawhi, you know, they might be the favorites in the West, you know? And don't sleep on, you know, Golden State, because you still got Steph Curry. He's just going to go back to when he won back-to-back MVPs, you know what I'm saying? Because he got no Thompson, no KD, so he's going to go nut, you know? He's going to go nut. You know, back to where he was when he was the only unanimous MVP ever in the history of the NBA. You know what I mean? And you got Draymond Green. He's going to go back to his all-star. So don't sleep on Golden State either, even without KD and Thompson right now. You know what I mean? They got this kid from Michigan that just drafted Poole. You know what I mean? From Michigan. He's nice. You know what I mean? They drafted him, and they drafted somebody else, too, that's nice. Golden State. So Bob Myers is making moves, trying to, you know, help that roster. You know me, even though they don't know what KD is going to do, well, they know he ain't playing next year. So
yeah, that's a fact. Him or Klay Thompson might not be. Klay Thompson might come back in February at earliest or something like that.
Yeah, definitely after the All-Star break if he come back. I mean, he's definitely gonna come back, but probably be later towards. If they in the playoffs, that'll be a good look.
So I personally think the Jazz definitely can compete for a title. You're bringing a guy in Conley who is known to be a facilitator. You know, get his guys open and get his shot when he needs to get a shot. Donovan Mitchell, he hasn't had that point guard that, you know, can actually get him the ball and place him in a position where he can be even more successful than he already is. And I believe Conley checks the box.
Rubio was nice, but he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he had injury issues.
Injury issue. But Conley is definitely a better point guard than Rubio.
Most definitely an upgrade at the position of
Absolutely.
Point guard.
I like Jay Crowder. That's a big loss. You know what I mean? But you had to make a move if you want to get Conley. I like Jay Crowder.
And the Grizzlies, they knew who they wanted. They wanted the point guard in John Morant, and they got him last night. And like we said earlier in the show, we believe he's going to be an electric player. What do you think is his ceiling? Who do you think, if you had to compare John Morant to a player in the NBA right now, who would that be, or in the past?
To me, he's like a Russell Westbrook.
Here we go. I was just about to say that too.
Russell Westbrook. I mean, he could jump to the moon. You know what I mean? He could pass. You know what I mean? Like magic. You know, and he'll buff it on you. You know what I mean? You just got to work on his shot. You know what I mean? He got a better shot than Russell Westbrook. Better jump shot than Russell Westbrook right now. Yeah, Russell Westbrook don't have a shot. I mean, Russell could get you triple doubles and go to the hole, but his shot, sometimes is on, sometimes not. But Durant can shoot. Morant can shoot. He can shoot threes. He can get to the hole. He can buff it on you. And what I like about him, he makes his teammates better. You know what I mean?
And one thing I would say in credit to Russell Westbrook's play is that, he doesn't have a consistent shot, which he needs to develop if he wants to take it to that next level. But he's one of those guys, and it's very rare in the NBA. You see a lot of guys that when their shot is not falling, they look non-existent and not engaged. Russell Westbrook is a guy that is always engaged in the match and gives you 100%, whether or not his shot is falling.
That's true.
Or not.
All the time. That's why he's one of my favorite players, because he's one way 100% of the time. But Ja Morant is the type of dude. He said he liked hitting his teammates, seeing the smiles on their face rather than shoot. He'd rather you shoot. So he's going to pass first, but he's still the type of player that could get his also. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing him. He said he get more joy of seeing you make a basket than him getting his own basket. And that's a point guard.
I want to get your thoughts on Kawhi. I know you briefly touched on it earlier. Do you think Kawhi is staying in Toronto, or is he heading to the Clippers or to the barber shop, whatever you want to call it, Clippers, barber? Where is he headed?
Well, like I said, this is going to be the tell sign. Right now, he already know what he's going to do. But the GM is going to be offered a lot of money to go to the Wizards. If he takes that job with the Wizards, they talk about part ownership, you know what I mean, $10 million a year, part ownership. You know, they giving this dude everything but the brink truck, you know what I mean? So if he takes that job, then it's out. There's no, you know, his bags is packed. But if he doesn't take that job, you know, Leonard, it's a possibility that, you know, he might stay in Toronto because he like Toronto. You know, they can win a chip. They're coming out the East is much easier than dealing with the West. And, you know, he might just sign for, you know, a 2-year joint.
Or 1-1.
A 1-1, you know, a 1 year in a player option with a second. You know what I mean? But if the GM takes that job, he don't have no loyalty. He say like, well, you left. I'm going home because he want to come home. He really want to come home to the. He's a California kid. You know what I mean? He got money. He got MVPs, the finals. He got 2 chips. He really want to come home. You know, but he feels, you know, a little loyalty to Toronto. They give him everything. You know, he feel that love. But if this guy make his move, it's gonna be his mind gonna be made up for him. He's not gonna stay if the jury leaves.
A lot of people may not think that this is a big sign, but I do believe it's something. Maybe it's just me. But him being at that Blue Jays game, knowing that the finals ended, yeah, it wasn't like the finals ended a month ago or a year ago, but it ended a pretty decent time by now. You know, I've been to Cancun and back by now. You know what I'm saying? So I traveled in that time span. But he is still in Canada. He went to the Blue Jays game the other day, yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
Do you think that is a little sign that maybe he's leaning towards staying in Toronto and signing that 101 deal?
I don't know. He just went to a baseball game, man. You know what I'm saying? He just went to a baseball game. You know, right now he's still in Canada.
There's a lot of baseball games. There's a lot of games. Right now this is baseball season. He could have went to the Yankees.
Next month.
He could have went to California where he was at.
Next month is Carnival in Canada. You know what I mean? The Jamaican Carnival, you know what I mean? So maybe he's staying for that. I don't know. You know, like I said, we'll know July 1st. No, I'm sorry, June 30th, 6 o'clock.
And you think he's going to the Clippers? Well, Lakers obviously, but you know, I don't think he wants to play with LeBron James. The Clippers.
Nah, it's either going to be Toronto or it's going to be the Clippers.
And who you think?
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be Toronto. But you know, you keep hearing that he might go to Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, you know. But to me, it's Toronto or the Clippers. I think right now, if I had to pick one, if the general manager stays, right now I'm leaning towards Toronto because he might want to try to repeat. You know what I mean? But if the general manager leaves, then he you know, he's like, you know, he's going to leave.
I think he will probably sign a short term, you know, 1-1 with Toronto. I mean, they have a chance to repeat as champions. You still have Lowry and Serge and, you know, all those key parts. Pascal Siakam over there, probably try to get Marcus Gasol, you know, keep him. To me, I mean, it's set up for them. You look at the 76ers, we don't know what that team is going to be like. Jimmy Butler may leave. Milwaukee. He may walk out. Milwaukee is a good team. They can compete. The Pacers, obviously, they're going to get better a little bit. But to me, they still not on the Raptors level. They have a chance to literally be a lock, almost a lock between them and the Bucks to come out the East.
But right now, he holds the balance of power.
Yeah, but exactly.
Where
he goes, that's gonna that team is more likely booking their tickets
for next year, though.
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah, because KD's, you know, the only reason why I'm saying that is because KD is not playing next year.
But if KD leaves, then it may be more than next year.
No,
because it depends where he's going.
It depends on where he's going.
If you go to the Knicks got a lot of stuff to do.
What I'm saying is that even KD signs whoever, he's still not playing next year.
Yeah, he's not playing.
So I'm saying Leonard, wherever he goes, wherever he's going, they're going to win the chip next year.
Yeah, fair enough.
If he go to Toronto, they're going to go, I ain't going to say they're going to win it, but they're going to go to the finals.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Clippers is going to the finals because they already got a solid team. All they need is one missing piece, and he's it. He's going to be favored in the West. So right now, he got the power. Only because the KD is not playing next year. You know what I mean? So they got a year, you know what I mean, to do that. After next year, all bets is off when KD come back.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard knows that he has. To me, I'm not leaving Toronto. The fan base is crazy. You saw the parade.
Had a whole country
It was
behind
it was crazy. He has a whole country behind him. They love him. Kawhi's literally that country. He's the face of the country outside of Drake, the rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, me, I want to leave that. They say, it's hard to leave after a parade, but guess what? I ain't going nowhere if I was him.
Like I said, it all depends on how bad he want to come home, because he's a California kid, and like I said, he could say, you know what, I'll just do 1-on-1. I'm not going to commit long term. He could do it that way. He got a lot of options. He got like 3 or 4 options. So we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yes, we will. So I want to get your thoughts. I brought it up in my other podcast, What's Your Ground Like, and we talked about it. Your thoughts on LaVar Ball and the controversial comments that was made on First Take, quote unquote controversial comments that was made on First Take with Molly Qerim. What you thought about that? With him saying, we can switch gears any day, when she asked him that question.
Like I said, when he said it, I didn't take nothing. He was just trying to be cool. He's a joker. You know what I mean? That's LaVar Ball, and I don't think he meant nothing disrespectful by it. That's Jalen Rose's wife. They got married about 6 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever, secret wedding, whatever. They was dating and they got married, and he wouldn't disrespect. He didn't mean no disrespect like that. I take him for his word. I don't know how she took it. She took it and she said, "Oh, let's keep it professional." Or this, I don't know what she said or whatever. She said something. Stephen A. looked at him kind of crooked with his, like, why'd you say that? But he just was being LaVar Ball. I don't think he meant nothing by it. You know what I mean? I really don't. I didn't think ESPN was sensitive. And like you said, with all the Me Too's and all that, so everything you say, people get offended right away and, they jumped the gun. But he didn't mean nothing by it. I believe him for his word. It wasn't nothing sexual. He just trying to be, LaVar Ball. He runs off the mouth. Sometimes he, say things, what I mean, but he didn't mean nothing by it. They just blew all out, the ban him from ESPN and all that. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious.
Exactly. I thought they overreacted. Just plain and simple, they overreacted.
Maybe because it's LaVar Ball. If anybody else would have said it, they would have said, they wouldn't even think twice of it. But because LaVar Ball, maybe they don't like him or whatever. The management, I ain't talking about Stephen A. and First Take. I'm talking about the management people, that runs ESPN. Maybe
that's a possibility.
Maybe they don't like him, so they just use this excuse not to have him on.
That's a possibility. That dude seemed one of those. Because I feel like if it was, another person that's like, making money over there, like a Stephen A. Smith, I don't think that would have happened. That's too much money to be lost.
Like I said, I like the dude. The dude, he talks a lot of smack. You know what I mean? And he's hilarious to me.
And he was real about the Lakers issues. We all thought he was chatting because it was about his son. But he was right. The Lakers did fold in front of our eyes. They blew up.
Yeah.
Like an atomic bomb.
So he said he liked the trade. You know what I mean? He said that's the best thing they could do for his son.
And I agree.
Now you're going to see, saying if they would have gave LaVar Ball the ball from Jump Street and let him run the team, but you can't do that with LeBron because LeBron's ball dominant. So
exactly,
you know what I mean. But like I said, he's going to shine. His son going to shine this year.
I'm expecting big things from his son. People that know me know that I get on Lonzo, not because I don't think he's great. I get on him because I see that potential that he can bring, and I believe that him being away from LA. Obviously, it's going to help his career when he's going to be playing with Zion Williamson and all those other boys out there in Louisiana. And I think he's going to be a problem. I really do. Especially if he could, improve his three-point shooting as well and his free throw shooting. He's going to be up there.
Yeah. His other son is going to Australia, to play
professional.
He's, LaVar said that his son's going to be the number 1 pick in the 2020 draft. We'll see. We'll see.
So, I want to get your thoughts real quickly. I want to switch gears here. We talked about free agency real quickly. We had some boxing going on, obviously, with basketball season is over. And once free agency is over, we're going to have boxing, we're going to have baseball, we're going to have the big three. But I want to get your thoughts on boxing. We had Tyson Fury, who fought Tom Sports last week and won. via TK on the second round.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he looked good. You know,
Who's the best heavyweight in the division?
I think Wilder is. You know what I mean? You know, but even though I think he lost that fight against Fury, you know what I mean? But I think Wilder is the best heavyweight in the division. You know, I told everybody that Joshua was a fraud. He didn't fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? The only person that he fought that was worth somebody in his whole career was Klitschko. And Klitschko,
and he was at the end of his
he was at the end of his career. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why he always fight in England. You know what I'm saying? So first time he went to the bright lights. First time in the United States. All right.
First time he fought out of England.
That's what I'm saying. First
Not
time
even United States.
First time
out of England.
He fought out of England.
He lost.
He got dropped. You know, he was shaking like a dice game when he saw the lights in Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, this guy looked like the Pillsbury Dory Boy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was unbelievable. This dude looked like Joshua looked like a Greek god. You understand? Compared to this dude. You know what I mean? And this dude put him on his behind. It was unbelievable.
Nah, it was almost like a thing you would see on a Comedy Central. A big fat dude,
you know,
out of shape, small,
exactly,
versus a Greek god, and the Greek god get put on his back.
There go Joshua look like Ulysses. Yes, they were saying, and he got dropped. It was unbelievable. But like I said, he got a suspect, and he wanted Wilder. Wilder would have knocked that dude out in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he did Brazil.
You know what I mean? So who the best heavyweight? I'll say Wilder, but I would love to see Fury and Wilder go at it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I thought Fury won that last fight.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You know, he got robbed that fight. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see that. That's that. I don't want to see no Joshua. I want to see Fury, and I want to see Wilder. You know what I'm saying? For all the belts.
I would say that I think before I say that, I do believe that Wilder and Fury fight, the next fight, is going to be even better because these guys are going to be improving. Wilder, you know, he's going to improve. Obviously, he's been improving. To me, I thought he improved as a fighter. I want him to go to the body more. I believe if we go to the body more with them power shots, it could definitely set up his knockout even more easier, especially when you're dealing with a guy like Fury that is big, that can move, that can be swift. You saw it in that fight against Tom Schwartz. He threw 4 straight punches. Ain't connecting. So I believe that these guys are going to improve even more. You got to realize Fury's still fighting off ring rust after being out for 2.5 years, and he still came and gave Wilder a lesson. And that's why I think he's the best heavyweight, because he came out of nowhere, you know, out of depression. His brother was about to drop his call for bridge, and then fast forward a couple months later, two fights against dudes we ain't never heard of, and then you go and you outbox Deontay Wilder, who's supposed to be the most powerful heavyweight fighter in the world.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. That would be a good one.
And it's even told they might do a trilogy. So, you know, that's the fight that we want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's what happens when you don't make these fights happen when they're supposed to happen. You know, we saw it with Mayweather and Pacquiao. That fight was supposed to be made.
Well, it just proved to me, you know, what Wilder was saying all along, that Joshua was ducking him.
Yeah,
that just proved it just proved to me. Every time the dude said, "Listen, I'll fight you in your country, whatever," you know what I mean, I'll take half of the money, and it was always an excuse. And you see why? You were saying because they knew that Wilder would put that head to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Put that head to bed, exactly. And he would have tucked him in, and the referee would have read him a bedtime.
You know, so I see why the man was doing what he was doing, because you know it's chin is suspect.
You got a couple fights coming up. You have the Charlo brothers obviously fighting this weekend. You have ain't one of them supposed to be fighting in a rematch with Tony Harrison coming up?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe so.
I believe that rematch supposed to be coming up.
But something happened. I think this guy got hurt in training. I'm not sure where Harrison.
Yeah,
I think it got suspended.
I think it got suspended. Yeah, it did.
I think it got postponed. I don't know if he's still fighting, or I know Harris got injured in training.
Yeah, it did get postponed. You also got Pacquiao and Keith Thurman coming up in July 20th.
I would love to.
I like to me that's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah. I got the Pat man. I still think he still got it. You know what I'm saying? I got the Pat man with that one. But it's a good fight. I'm glad he's starting, better than later, putting fights on that people want to see. You know. But I really want to see my man.
Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr.
That's the one I want to see.
He ain't had to say it. I already knew it because we all want to see that
That's
fight.
what I want to see.
To me, but the politics, man, the top rank, Fox Sports. I mean, come on, can we make the fight? Can we give the people what they want?
Exactly.
Because I would want to see that right there. To me, that's I can't even choose that right now. I mean, maybe Spence you could say, but then Crawford ain't no slouch.
That's like back in the days, like Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. I mean, I want to see that.
Word, definitely. And I also want to see. Do you want to see Golovkin? Golovkin fought 2 weeks ago against Steve Rose. Didn't look too good to start, but he did look good when he did get that knockout on the top of the head.
Yeah, he want to fight Alvarez again.
He want to fight Alvarez again. Would you want to see that fight for a third time?
Yeah, I would see that. I would see that because I think he got robbed the first time.
A lot of people thought he got robbed, including myself.
I think he got robbed the first time. So,
did you think he won the second time?
No, I think Alvarez won the second time. So that's why I would give him another shot.
Me too. You gotta do it third time. I mean, you got to. At the end of the day, it's what the fans want. And Canelo is a guy that shows that he's not scared to fight the best. He fought Golovkin twice, and then he came back and fought Danny Jacobs and stuff like that. So,
Alvarez. He's the truth. But I would like to see him with Triple G again.
Another guy to look out for in the heavyweight division, who's the wild card, who got one of the belts, is Demetrius Andrade. A lot of guys got to watch out for this dude. There's also talks that he may be fighting Canelo Alvarez next as well. He want to get in the mix fighting Golovkin or Alvarez, so we'll see. He's fighting, I believe, the 29th, one of those dates. He's fighting at the end of this month. Okay. So I'm going to definitely be tuned into that fight. So we'll see what happens. But this is sports. This is how it is. We talked about the NBA. We talked about a little boxing at the end. And I guess it's time to wrap up this show. Like Father, the Real Leel Show, Like Father, Like Son Edition, Part 2, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, follow my Instagram at real_Leel_TV, S Street Media's Instagram, S_Street_Media. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to depart.